Did Mickey just mess up her HOH? Let's get into it. What up, guys? Welcome to the channel. I'm Fresh.
And I'm Morgan.
And we have a lot to talk about tonight. It's a pretty action-packed episode. But before we do, we want to thank everybody that subscribed. Thank you for all the support. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Drop a comment below and let us know what you think of everybody's game so far. And go ahead and hit that like button. And let's get into it.
All right. So before we even talk about tonight's episode, can we just talk about this point in the game and the gameplay that the house guests are playing? What is going on with these house guests?
Yeah, I know, right?
What do you think? Who's playing the best game?
If I had to say right now, I would have to say Vinny. Because Vinny seems like he got his hand in everybody. You know, he in alliances that like you wouldn't think he would be in. So I think Vinny's playing the best game. Zach is playing a pretty good game. Ava's playing a pretty good low-key game. I just need to see a little bit more from her. Will's, you know, he's doing all right. I think he can do a little bit more. But, you know, it's also some people playing some pretty bad games.
That would have been my order for best game, at least top 3. It would have been Vinny, then Zach, because he's attached to Vinny, and then Ava. Current state. And then, so you said there's some people playing kind of rough games. Who would that be?
Obviously, we know Kelly always, you know, volunteering herself to go on the block. Keanu, just the way he speaks to people, you know, he thinks he's running the game, but no, he's not. And yeah, those are the two I can think of off the top of my head who's playing like a pretty bad game.
We'll get into another one as well, as we talk about this episode. But I think Keanu could stop being a target or make himself less of a target if he were to watch what he was saying to people and how he's saying it, to your point.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. So that's where we are. I feel like this week / last week getting into this week was just kind of like, what is going on with these players? I feel like a lot of players are making moves based out of emotion, which I know you can do, but make sure the emotion is supporting your strategy and how you want to strategically move through the game. Even if somebody's pissing you off, something's frustrating, like, okay, it's just remember in the back of your head, it's a game. Breathe in, breathe out, and go play the game of Big Brother. That's what we want to see.
Yeah, but that's a little bit easier said than done. I think it is a game, but you still take it personal. Like, these people are human. People do have emotions. So you do take it personal if somebody backstabs you. You can't just after the game be like, oh yeah, all said and done, everything's all right. No, you're still going to feel some type of way. That's
true. But I feel like even if you do take it personally, what I'm saying is your next move shouldn't be made out of spite or shouldn't be made out of like, oh, they did this to me, so I'm just going to get them back, even though this other strategy is the one you should go for. And you know that. Yeah, the tit for tat, like that, it never worked. Never works. Yeah. Okay. So, all right. So let's talk about tonight's episode.
Ooh.
Man. Yeah. There's a lot of stuff went down. So basically what we had happen was Mickey assumed head of household and she dethroned Riley. So Riley at the top of this episode is still kind of fuming from it. And Mickey and Riley have a heart-to-heart. Well, it's really not a heart-to-heart. It's more them going at each other of what just happened. Well, more of him going at her, cussing at her, which is, you shouldn't do that. Like, don't take the game too personal. I mean, if you watched the game before, this happens all the time, but people will take your HOH if they have to. And plus, you did say, Keanu did say, put you as one of the noms, and he heard it. So you was possibly putting her up. So it was a good game move for her to activate her power only if he didn't know about it, which he didn't. He ended up picking Ashley. So it was good. And to your point, this happens all the time, but Riley made a comment in his diary room saying, I've never seen anyone take an HOH from someone else. And I was just laughing because I was like, have you ever watched this game before?
Exactly.
Yeah, this happens all the time. I know, but now it's just happening to him. So it feels really personal to him.
Well, Riley came acting like it's Love Island. So,
Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of which, him and Catherine kind of connected after as well. And she was kind of supporting this claim that it was so unfair. And I think she called it a dumb move that Mickey dethroned him, which that move was not dumb. That was strategic. She did it because her name was being thrown out there by him.
In her ally's name.
So her side of the house, which was a threat to her game. So yeah, she made a very strategic move. Not a dumb move at all. It's just you guys are wreaking the consequences of it.
They are also just, worried about each other in the house. So they're not really worried about gameplay. As from what I see, from the live feeds and in the episodes. So,
yeah.
I mean, hey, it was a good game move. She did what she had to do. You can't be mad. Just, hey, win it next week. If you're still here. If he's still here.
Yes, we'll get to that too. Oh, man. Okay. So, but it was really funny when Riley and Catherine were having that moment on the couch. They made it seem like it was right outside of the HOH's room. And Rachel is hilarious. She was bringing Mickey like her baskets, her clothes, all while like Riley and Catherine were having this like down moment and heart to heart. It was just really comedic relief and very funny to me.
Yeah, he just, I guess he had tears in his eyes.
He did. He took it really personally, and I felt bad that, he didn't get the letters from home and everything. But again, it's a game, so hopefully you'll get another chance.
You have the veto, you have the battle of the block, and then you have another chance to win HOH. So
that's right.
Just lock in, dig in, and get into it, and then come out on top.
Right. But it is hard when your back is kind of against the wall because his numbers are dwindling.
Yeah.
So I could see how that would be nerve-wracking as well. Okay, so then after that, Mickey and Riley actually have a second heart-to-heart, and this is an actual heart-to-heart. They sit down. He apologizes to her because he realized he was out of line and he shouldn't have been talking to her like that, which is accurate. And she forgives him. But basically, during this, Mickey's like, her eye is on the ball. Basically, she's like, well, let's talk game now. So basically, I still want to put you up because I need to target Keanu, and you're one of the only people who can win a comp over him. So she wants to use him as a physical comp threat to Keanu because her target is Keanu still.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like they're actual fighting. So she could have put up Zach. He's a pretty tough competitor. Could have put up anybody, but I think it was because of what happened with Riley is the reason why she put him up.
Definitely. I mean, yes, she wants to use him as a pawn, quote unquote. But we called this last time. That's who basically. Let's talk about knobs. Basically, she puts up Riley, Kelly, and Keanu, which was kind of obvious. We knew she would pick those three.
Yeah, that was to be expected.
Yeah, to be expected. Nothing out of the ordinary there. Keanu being the target once again. And I think she kind of just used that as a support to what she was already going to do.
Yeah.
But the reasoning kind of changed. But she was going to do that anyway. I feel like put up Riley.
Yeah, I think just because of how he was, talking to her and everything like that. That's the reason why, she put him up. But I mean, like I said, it's her HOH, so she can do whatever she wants, especially if he was coming for her.
Yes. But this is kind of where things start to change, or how my perception of Mickey starts to change. Because, girl, I was rooting for you. But when she got power, she just kind of like stuff started happening in her head. Because then she pulls Kelly into the HOH room to talk to Kelly. And this is after noms. And she basically tells Kelly that she wants Kelly to not use the veto if she wins it. and pull herself off the block because she has this master plan of getting out Keanu. And to me, that's kind of Delulu.
Well, it seemed like she don't have a plan B in case Keanu gets off the block.
Yes. Well, I think she wants Keanu to go home, and she also doesn't want to nominate a fourth nom, which makes sense. But like thinking about how Big Brother is set up, you're asking someone on the block not to take themselves down because of your master plan.
I mean, I wouldn't consider that a master plan. Like, if you put me up and I win the veto, I'm taking myself off. I do not care if your master plan is to get him out, because if he wins veto, and if he wins veto and I don't win the blockbuster, there's a chance that I can go home. No, I'm taking myself off the block, and that's it. Like, nah, don't listen to her.
This is what I'm saying by Delulu. Not that she's actually delusional, but she's asking for way too much, and she knows she is, because she basically said as much in her diary room. Like, that's way too much of an ask for you to put her up and then expect her not to take herself down if she wins. I
just don't know how did people think to get so entitled when they win HOH, like, oh, respect my noms. No. Like, if that's somebody I didn't want to go, why would I respect your noms?
Exactly.
Like, y'all, you crazy.
Also, I don't want to be on the block in the first place. So I would never respect the position that I'm in.
And it's her birthday. So you put her on the block on her birthday week.
Yeah.
I know y'all don't really, mess with her like that, but still.
Yeah.
You can't, Kelly, you did the right thing. Take yourself off. If you win, take yourself off the block and you'll be good.
Yeah, for sure. 100%. But yeah, Mickey does know she's asking for too much, but that is crazy. I guess she tried it. She's trying everything. She wants her plan A to be the only plan. Okay. So we're moving along the episode and we get to the veto picks.
Yeah, these veto picks were basically in Mickey's favor, because first person she picked was Rachel.
Yes. Well, she picked Kelly.
Kelly
chose Rachel because Rachel, again, she is out here to play the game of Big Brother. She made it known that she wants to play in this veto. And she's very bold with the way that she behaves in the house, and she takes no prisoners.
Well, I also think she's been on TV for so long, so she knows, especially these competition shows, so she knows like how to strategize and what to do.
Yeah.
I think her only issue is just the socially, like this ain't her season. BB 2012, I think. This ain't her season. And plus she's been up on the block every time she wasn't HOH in her previous seasons, and now it's like she's not really winning anything. But I also think that where Kelly picking her, that was kind of strange, because Kelly do be talking a lot of mess about Rachel, even though Rachel's trying to comfort her and whatnot. So that was surprising.
It was surprising, but Kelly kind of walked us through that logic, so it kind of made sense. I think Kelly felt like no one was really going to take her off the block anyway.
Yeah,
but
that's true.
Rachel for sure wasn't going to take Keanu. So if she was sitting next to Keanu, then she had a better chance of staying in the house, or a good chance of staying in the house. So she was like, well, even though Rachel may not take me off, she's definitely not taking off Keanu. So that's better than nothing.
I don't think nobody would take off Keanu but Keanu. So she would have been good regardless.
Right. Okay, so then who is the last pick?
The last pick was Morgan. Morgan got picked. I ain't gonna lie, I probably would have want to get picked too, because you going on the seasons, and until you get to the 6 people, you have to get chosen. So I definitely would want to get chosen at least a few times to play in the veto.
And get a chance to get some veto comps under your belt.
Yeah, get some currency, because you can use that veto to build a relationship with somebody that you don't have one with if you want to take them off the block.
That's true. Sometimes that works though, and sometimes it doesn't, because people are going to play. Some people are going to play their own game, regardless of what you did for them throughout the season. And then some people will return the favor. So it really just depends who it is too.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Okay. So then let's talk about the veto competition, the sidewalk competition.
I forgot what they called it.
I just remember it was sidewalks.
Yeah. So basically this kind of reminded me of Squid Games. There was about like 16 squares with buttons in the middle of them. So they had to pick the right one, and the right one will be green. And if they pick the wrong one, it will be red, and they got to start all over. So if you make it all the way to the end and hit a red one, you got to run all the way back
and start from the top.
I know I'm talking too fast, but you got to start all the way back, hit a button, and do it all over again. So you really had to remember each step that you took. And the first round was Mickey and Keanu, and they said it was all random, so they didn't get to choose who they went up against. And Keanu had the best approach, slow and steady. Just, hey, you mess up, don't freak out. Everybody was just trying to get him out, so they was rushing. So yeah, he put out that first win.
He did. Yeah. Mickey, she had, like, I feel like everyone besides Keanu was feeling a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
So the more pressure that they were feeling, the more they kept messing up and forgetting, because it really is a game of memorization. You have to remember which squares are the green ones, which one are the red ones, and do them in that order if you mess up again. So yeah, I just feel like Keanu really was very steady in his approach.
Yeah,
and ended up winning that round.
Yeah, he was calm the whole time. And then the second round was Kelly and Rachel. And
I think it was Morgan and Rachel. Was it Morgan?
No, it was Morgan
and Rachel.
My bad. See, I'm getting confused. Morgan and Rachel. And, you would think Morgan would have pulled it out. She was going too fast. And Rachel was too, because she got the quickest time. So she was able to. Also, if you got the quickest time, you got to buy. So she was able to bypass the next round and go straight to the final round.
Mm-hmm.
And the last was Kelly and Riley. And yeah, Riley
won that.
Yeah, Riley won that one. So now we going against Keanu and Riley going against each other. And then, Rachel got that bye.
Yeah. So basically in the second round with Keanu and Riley, Keanu has the same approach, slow and steady, and Riley is zipping through this competition. However, he gets stuck on like the second to last square and keeps putting his foot on the wrong square. He did it over and over, so he had to keep racing back and racing back. And again, I think he was just getting flustered and forgetting to step on the next square. So ultimately, Keanu wins the round just because he was good at pacing himself and keeping himself calm to memorize the squares, whereas Riley was getting really, really anxious and flustered and couldn't pull that out. But he was very close to winning.
Yeah, he was. But, hey, he had that frantic look, and Keanu pulled it out, just being calm, cool, calm, and collective. And now we have the final round where Rachel goes against Keanu. And Rachel almost had it. But at the very end, she pushed the red square and she had to run all the way back. And then Keanu came all the way out there. And he was just like slow and steady.
Slow and steady.
And as she was creeping up and creeping close, and you see he's like behind, he was just catching up. And then, he pulled it out. So everybody is like, all you hear is crickets in the back. Well, I guess it's sound effects, with them. But you could just hear a pin drop, how quiet everybody was.
When Keanu won.
Yeah. So
no one was happy about it.
Nah,
everybody was like, what just happened? Because that was literally everyone's target. I think everyone would have voted for him to go home.
Yeah, and this is his third veto win. I would say two because, Casey did win one for him, but he got the veto. So his third veto win. And, you start putting a target on your back when you keep winning, but he has to because, he put such a big target on his back by saying, hey, I'm going to go after you one by one or pick you off one by one. And, you're going to be a target every week. But for somehow, somebody always seems to be a new target in the house.
And that's what you want. If you're Keanu and you're in that position, you want there to be other targets beside you. I mean, yes, people will probably still come after you, particularly if you do what he did right after he won. But yeah, so you definitely want other targets to pop up. But let's talk about what he did right after he won. So basically, everybody was quiet. No one was expecting that he would, or not that they weren't expecting, they were hoping that he wouldn't. And yes, Big Brother did play crickets. And Ava was the moderator on this comp. And she was supposed to say, congratulations, you won. But I guess she didn't say it fast enough for Keanu. So Keanu opens his mouth and he's like, aren't you supposed to read a prompt basically to him? And I was like, man, bro, like you got to calm this attitude down. Like really be gracious. Like, I know he was just like steaming because he felt like the whole house was against him, which they were, but he didn't have to speak to Ava like that. And she responded in kind.
I mean, first I want to say Ava did do a good job moderating that veto comp. And she ripped Keanu a new one. Like, she stood up for herself. You know, she said that Staten Island was going to come out. And it came out because she was like, hey, who you talking to? So, hey.
Yeah, it certainly did. Yeah, she was not having it. And basically, she just didn't even read the prompt. She was like, be done with that prompt. I'm going to go over to to Keanu. And she was just like, here, and handed him the veto. And that was that.
Yeah. And no, she was pretty heated. But then after that, they showed that they had a heart-to-heart conversation, even though, I mean, he was in there crying to her and she was like, oh yeah, you the one that went on, said something to me and I'm over here consoling you. So she was basically saying, I accept your apology, but if I win HOH next week, I'm putting you up.
Yeah.
So she accepted it, but she said, I'm not forgetting.
He was not forgetting. But she also was saying, like, listen, Keanu, you are in this position, to your point earlier, basically because you told everyone you were coming after them and picking them off one by one. And you're crying about how you're always a target and that's frustrating. But you also like kind of initiated that with those comments. So like you got to slow your roll. Think before you speak to people.
It's kind of like what Kelly did, volunteering yourself on the block, and you're wondering why you're on the block each week. Is because you volunteered to be on the block. Once you're on the block once, that's the route for you. Yeah, that's the easy nom. Ain't nobody gonna be mad because you was already on the block.
Mm-hmm. And you volunteered. So you don't want to put yourself in a position, especially early on, to be targeted in any negative way. Yeah, which both of them did differently. But yeah, that's where Keanu found himself. But Ava forgave him, but she's not going to forget that happened.
Yeah, so now we're about to get into, did she just mess up her game?
Yes, and the she you're referring to is, I'm assuming, Mickey.
Did Mickey ruin her game with these moves?
So that is the other person that I was wondering if they are having not the greatest game right now. Because she was doing, I was rooting for you, Mickey. She was doing so well.
So well.
She had the power. She used it correctly. She got head of household. And then this is where things started to turn. Because now, like, you're asking people for too much, which you shouldn't be asking. But after you did the nominations, I felt like they were justified, expected. You should have kept them. And this is where things start to get hairy, because now you would expect, so Keanu won veto. We know he's going to take himself off. So now she's like, who's the replacement nom? We would expect that she would do, or I would expect, I don't know who you would expect, but you'd probably agree with me. Catherine. Do Catherine and keep it simple. Like, that's the side of the house that you want to target. But her thing was, she talked to Riley and she didn't want to kind of also have like a third strike with him where there would be a vengeance coming back to her should he stay in the house, which I get if he put up Catherine. Okay. But then you're thinking about Vinny, which did Rachel suggest that?
Yeah, Rachel is the one who played the game twice and she won one. So she has a lot of knowledge of the game. And it's probably a good idea to listen to her, because sometimes she's trying to sabotage not her fashion sense, but sometimes.
Well, yeah, not her fashion sense either, but sometimes she does try to sabotage people. So you got to be discerning as well.
Yeah, but thing is, she's also working with Mickey, so I don't see her sabotaging Mickey. But she has valid points about Vinny. Vinny is basically in everybody's ear. He's basically
everyone's
had a
number
say-so
one
in everybody's HOH. So it's kind of like, I'm not saying he's running the game, but he's playing a great game right now because nobody's going to target him. If you don't get him out, I guarantee nobody's really going to target him afterwards. Well, I ain't going to say guarantee because it could happen. But yeah.
But he would have, if they target him later in the game, he's in a bunch of alliances with different people.
Yeah.
So he's going to have support from different angles. So targeting him in the later game is a risk. Not that I don't know if it's like well known how many alliances he's in, but that may not work given who he's aligned with.
Jimmy pulled him in with Keanu, Kelly himself, and Vince into the storage room to create an alliance. That just goes to show you, like, they didn't bring Zach in, they brought him. So
yeah, which brings us to the other person that Mickey is now targeting is Jimmy, which kind of came out of left field, but it's because of what you just said about that alliance with the other side of the house. Jimmy was suggesting to this newly formed alliance that he wanted to go after basically Mickey's side of the house and Mickey's closest alliance. So Keanu is the one that actually brings this to she heard about it. They heard about it before. But Keanu confirms that, yes, he was in the room with all these people, these 3 other people, and that they were going to be basically targeting that side of the house, the other side of the house. And this makes Morgan and Mickey really upset, especially because they have the triple threat alliance with Jimmy. It's just the 3 of them. So to have one of their closest allies turn on them was, I think, too much to take. But the thing is, you want to talk about Morgan's game?
Well, I would say this. I would think closest allies is a stretch because it seems like Morgan is way closer to Vinny and Zach and Mickey, but Mickey would be in the bottom of that alliance. So Morgan and Mickey are mad that he made another alliance when they got an alliance without him. And plus she didn't tell him about her power. So you can't really be too mad at him for making an alliance when y'all already made an alliance without him. So yeah, I don't get it.
I don't get it. But Morgan, I don't know. Mickey also needs to be wary. I think that's what you're saying about Morgan, because Morgan is very closely aligned with Vinny and Zach. And it seems like if someone were to go home in Morgan's eyes, it's not going to be Vinny or Zach over Mickey.
Well, mainly Vinny, because when they was talking, and she should have clocked that when they was talking, Morgan was basically saying, "Hey, Vinny's my number one guy. Like I can't do nothing without him. He's my number one guy." And it's like, why would you say that to her, like adamantly? Like she was really getting mad about that, about her even considering Vinny. And Mickey needs to realize, like, if she's going that hard for Vinny, she's not gonna have your back long term. And it's showing. Like, I think last week, Mickey was talking a lot of trash or a lot of mess to Ashley, which a lot of stuff happened with Mickey and Ashley. It was an argument going on between Mickey and Ashley. So they was a little rocky, but she was literally talking mess to Ashley about what Morgan was doing. And now this week, you all up with Morgan with that alliance. And now, y'all trying to target well, I ain't gonna go, too early, but yeah. Yeah, it's just the whole gameplay, like, is everybody's not like, people are not like, I don't want to say socially aware, but they're not really aware.
Picking up on cues of when you're getting played.
And Mickey is getting played by Vinny, Zach, and Morgan. Because if you're going to create a alliance, you don't want to be the last person in that alliance, because that alliance was formed a long time ago. And they just now pulling you in to have numbers, but you're at the bottom of that alliance. So when it comes down to if it's y'all foe, who's going to be one to go? You. And if you don't see that by now, you deserve to get kicked out as soon as you do.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if I were in her position and I heard my supposedly close alliance member say that someone else is their number one boy or girl or whoever, I don't care. It's time for them to go home because I need you to be my number one. Like,
exactly.
That's more of an incentive for me to put you up now. And trying to weigh between Vinny and Jimmy. If I heard that, Jimmy's not really coming after me.
Not at all.
But Vinny is trying to take my spot as a number one alliance member. So I need that tie to be severed.
Well, see, it sounds from like the diary room sessions that you see from the episodes is like she know that. But you're basically playing into Morgan's hands, playing her game. Like, this is your HOH. If you want to put him up, you put him up. And if y'all relationship gets strained because of that, then we wasn't in it in the first place. So, but then it would be kind of hard because she can't play next week. But you're basically playing into Morgan's hands by not putting up her. She says her number one person in the house, and if she says that, or her number one guy in the house, but I mean, you going that strongly for him, like you should have clocked that. And it's like you're gonna put up somebody that either you're gonna put up Vinny or you're gonna put up Jimmy, who is somebody who ain't targeting you at least right now, and you can work with him, even though he did create that alliance. You can go like you didn't even have a conversation with him to say, hey, is this true? Where would you going with this? If we supposed to be in your alliance, like what's going on with that? And he probably could explain whatever he explained to him. But Jimmy also did this to himself because in his HOH, he didn't confide in Morgan or Mickey about what to do with his noms, and his HOH was a waste. But yeah, he kind of did it to himself, but he's not targeting you. And plus,
not targeting you.
He can help. He can win competitions. So you're not safe next week. He ain't putting you up next week. Now now he has a potential of going, like if he gets put on the block, he has a potential of going home. And who you got left? The three people who you at the bottom of the alliance?
Yeah. Like for her, she needs to, I think she's thinking about all of her alliances, not just herself, which I think she needs to think more just about herself in this position and what's the best for her. Because to your point, she was listening to Morgan a lot. Like, yes, you can take Morgan into consideration, but at the end of the day, this is your HOH. You need to do what's best for your game.
Yeah.
Not Morgan's game, your game. And that may be different because even when they were having that, Morgan and her were talking, she said like, well, I don't know about Vinny because he's basically checking for you, but he wouldn't be checking for me at all.
He clocked it.
She knew that. So like knowing that should say something, especially when Jimmy is not coming after you, at least right now. Eventually he will be. Everyone's going to come after everyone eventually. But right now he's still a number for you. Yes, I know you were upset about the way what he did in his HOH and the alliance he created. But for me, in terms of prioritization, Vinny is a bigger threat to me right now than Jimmy.
Yeah, and it just seems like the last few HOHs, all they have done is put up their allies. And like, why would you put up your allies on the block? And granted, she don't have a lot of options, to going up against her. So the best person she could have put up was Catherine. But if Riley don't win the blockbuster and it's Catherine and Riley on the block, he's gonna fight to have her stay. So basically, you came in the house for love and not $750,000. I mean, more power to you, bro. Like, do you? But it's just like you have to think long term what's best for your game. And you may have thought, oh, let me put up Jimmy to appease Morgan, but that's not best for your game because eventually Morgan, Vinny, and Zach are going to turn on you. And the crazy thing is, from what I've seen and heard, like Morgan's not even like the best position is really Lauren and Vinny and Zach, that they will pick her over Morgan. So this has potentially ruined her, messed up her game long term.
It really has.
It was a bad game. If you ask me, it was a bad game move.
I don't think that was good at all. Like, I was with her through the point in which she chose to put Jimmy as the replacement nomination.
Yeah, so if you haven't, I don't think we discussed, but Jimmy is a replacement nominee. She didn't give him enough time to really. She waited 18 minutes before the veto ceremony to let him know. If that was your ally, you would have let him well known so he can let you know, hey,
what happened?
What happened? These are the points that I can make to have you not put me on a block. And if that was really your ally, because the thing is, y'all made an alliance without Jimmy. You can't be mad that he didn't make one
without you.
So
yeah, I think. Well, she also admitted, I think in her diary room, that she waited so long because she didn't want to be convinced otherwise.
Yeah, because it was a bad game move. And
yes.
The only person that was saving is Vinny and Morgan. It appeased Morgan. And it's like, you're worried about your relationship with Morgan. You should be worried about your time long term. And if they really got your back.
Yeah.
And right now they do, but it's gonna come a time where, hey, if you on that block, they gonna choose
Lauren.
Lauren,
Morgan.
she's gonna choose Morgan over you. So, hey, that like I said, you get in the house and your whole view of how you're gonna play the game changes. And I just think that this wasn't a good game.
It was
You
not.
don't put up your allies. You don't put up people that's gonna vote for you
And vote with you.
Yeah. So and then you're supposed to have a plan B. If Keanu got off the block, who are you gonna nominate? Not
and why?
I don't know who I'm gonna nominate. No, before you go in there. That way you not scrambling to find all this. And if you get new information, then you can make an educated decision. Hey, is this the right move for me? And right now, it's not the right move.
Not at all.
Because if Jimmy gets off that block,
he's coming after her. 100%. He's pissed.
Exactly.
I mean, you guys already know. We didn't even have to say that. He's mad that he's on that block. Question for you. One final question. Do you think Mickey's game can recover from what she just did?
I mean, if your social game is that good, then yes, she can recover from it. But I just don't think that, because she still has Vinny, Mickey, and Zach right now. So she can recover from this. But see, the thing is, you're probably making everybody like Rachel, Will, Ashley. Well, you already know the thing with Ashley. Her and Ashley was beefing for a little bit. But you just messing them up. You do have Ava, but yeah,
she doesn't have strong foundations to stand on. That side of the house was stronger for her to stand on than Morgan, Vinny, and Zach.
Yeah, I think eventually I do want to cover the live feeds. I wish I had more time to watch live feeds, but you know, life be life, and sometimes because the live feeds will tell you a lot more than what they put on the episodes. Because sometimes they be like, if y'all notice in the very beginning of Mickey's confessional when she took the HOH key, she had the yellow dress on that she won for the veto nomination. So they're probably, you know, editing in a certain way that, you know, certain events might not have happened
chronologically.
Yeah, chronologically.
Like that.
Yeah, so I mean, it was a good episode. Just hopefully, you know, it don't bite Mickey, but I have a feeling like, yeah, this probably, you know, messed her game up.
Yeah. I hope these players, just in general, the house guests, start thinking with what's best for their own game strategically and make those moves and stand on that versus doing things that are counter to that or acting out of emotion or vengeance. Because
sometimes it feel like they will get mad at them for doing something that they themselves did.
Mm-hmm.
So
yes.
Yeah, so hey, we want to thank everybody who made it this far. We want to thank you for all the support. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Go ahead and drop a comment down below and let us know, did Mickey ruin her game? And drop a like, and we'll appreciate it. So until the next video.
Bye.